Hello, welcome back, guys. Simon here, Rams Right Podcast, vlogcast now. Lots to talk about, lots going on. So let's get straight into the show. So, where do we begin? So, I think we should begin really with Mason Bennett and Tom Lawrence subject. You know, I said a lot about this already. Maybe I said too much, perhaps. But. Big but. Friday night there was a statement by the club and an apology from Mason Bennett. And on Saturday morning, there was an apology from Tom Lawrence. So as far as I'm concerned now, we move on. You know, we can't keep. How long does this keep going on for? This circle of get rid of him, sack him. Because it's quite funny, because when it first happened, I would say about 95% of people said, get a shot of him, right? However, as the weeks have gone on, I guess, I think it's narrowed it down now, and I'm seeing more, they've apologised now, let's get behind the guys. And, you know, I can see it from both angles. For me, I just think we need to, it's got to be not forgotten about exactly, but we've got to let go of it. I think I'll jump straight into yesterday's game. Luton Town 2-0, home win. Job's a good one. Thank you very much. First goal, an absolute bizarre moment. Back pass to the keeper, no pressure on him, no nothing. Sticks his foot over the ball, rolls into the back of the net. Wow. Yeah, that was the craziest goal I think I've ever seen. Well, there's probably some other ones, but for me, at Derby, that's probably the maddest goal I've ever seen. Then, second goal, second half, Tom Lawrence, cross shot, I don't know if he meant it. It was a half volley from about 5 yards, maybe about 3 yards, just up from the corner flag. And he's pinged it, and it's gone in. Keeper at fault, perhaps, yeah, maybe. Did he mean it? Don't really care. But he struggled to celebrate that. If you watch his celebration, it was just a bit of a... And the look on his face said it all, really. It was a bit of hands up in the air, and, so... He does show remorse. I mean, if he didn't, surely he'd be running around the pitch like mad, not really worrying about what he'd done. So, But the other thing I noticed as well was the players around him when he scored were geeing up the crowd. Come on, give him some support. So the players have forgiven him, At the end of the day, mistakes happen. And, you can say, it's not a mistake. A mistake, knocking a glass of water over, for example. But it was a massive error of judgment. The guys know they shouldn't have done it. They've said this. So, at the end of the day, we're Derby County Football Club. I said this on Friday night on Radio Derby. We're Derby County Football Club. We're not, individual football club. We're Derby County Football Club. We have to, at the end of the day, we've had some good players that have come in here, some not so good players that have come here. But at the end of the day, we've got behind the team. And, if individuals were costing the team, then yeah, maybe get up on the back. But these guys, they've not costed the team, I know, we drew one and we drew on against Barnsley on Wednesday night. I'll go into that in a minute. And then obviously we won yesterday against Luton. Are they costing us? Tom Lawrence scored. So I think we've got to start looking past this. In all fairness, because they're not the first players to do this. They're not the last players to do this. They won't be. There's all walks of life, and people have made bad mistakes. And you have to sometimes just say, right, okay, they've admitted their error. They know they've done wrong. And we've got to get on with it. That's all we can do. At the end of the day, they've got a court appearance on the 15th, I think it is. Just Let them sort it. All this stuff, why can't the EFL, why aren't the EFL giving them bans, etc. It's nothing to do with the EFL. You know, drink driving or whatever it is, outside of football, it is nothing to do with the EFL. I think, because Leeds fans love our timeline more than we do. They were moaning saying, whoever it was got done for placing a couple of bets got banned, six games or something, or £200,000 fine or whatever, and Spygate issue. That's EFL matters because it's football. And there's rules that the Football League have set down about gambling, and obviously about having a look at other people while they're training, whatever. But again, at the end of the day, the drink driving arrest or whatever it is that they've been charged with, or going for paying to court for, it is outside of the AFL's hands. So it's a criminal offence, not a footballing offence. If that makes sense. So we forget about it. The courts will deem their punishment. The club have sent their punishment. I think there's a statement. There's a club statement. I think it was 6 weeks' wages and 80 hours community service and rehabilitation. The club are not going to say anything more on the matter, right? So the club want to concentrate on football and concentrate on the season. So that is me now saying I'm not going to say anything more about this case unless it deems necessary. There's no need now for it. The court case, we might end up talking about whatever happens after that. We might not. But as far as the club are concerned, it is closed at their end. They have deemed punishment. They want the players to give something back to us. And Tom Lawrence did that. Tom Lawrence did that yesterday. I don't just mean, his goal, but his play. So, I'm going to move past that now. And we're going to go on to the 2 games we've had this week. Come on, let's go. Yay! So, Wednesday night we played against Barnsley at Oakwell. Well, where do we start? So, in a game really, you've got to look at teams like Barnsley, you look at them, they're struggling at home and away from home, only 1 win at home all season, that was on the opening day. We go 1-0 down early on. Sugar. Right, okay, so what derby's going to respond? Fortunately, it's the derby that have shown a lot of character over the last couple of weeks, and the derby that's shown they don't lie down and don't give up, because that's what we're becoming. So, what happens? Lawrence gets the ball, edge of the box. This is what I'm saying about Tom Lawrence. A usual Tom Lawrence would have, this is what I'm saying, right? If you didn't, obviously you all know, but obviously he got picked to start on Wednesday and there was uproar. It was a bit, oh my, what's he doing? Why is he starting? Well, whatever, he's been picked. We can't choose a team, it's not our job, it's Koku's decision. So Koku has picked Tom Lawrence to start because he feels this is the way he can give something back to the fans, by putting it out there on that pitch. And he's right. At the end of the day, he made an error, massive error, judgment, mistake, whatever you want to call it, but the only way he can put this right to the fans is to go out there on the pitch and perform. Because he gets a lot of stick at the moment, because his performances are poor. He's not shown up since Huddersfield. We all know that. But now is his time to put it right. So, for me, on Wednesday night, all he did was do the basics right, and he worked hard. That's the way I saw it. So, Tom Lawrence then got the ball edge of the box. A normal Tom Lawrence probably would have tried and front up the defender and then try and pop one in, top men from outside the box. This Tom Lawrence didn't. This Tom Lawrence kept the ball nice and tight, played it back to Huddleston. Huddleston dinked over the top to Patterson. Yeah, that man Patterson found, yes, that man again. Chris Martin, that is 3 in 3 for the GOAT. Yes, I do call him that, but hey ho. Easy 6-yard tap in. Then it gets even more interesting. 2 minutes before half time. Ball over the top, finds Lawrence in the box. Runs between 2 defenders, gets brought down, penalty. Again, he didn't look for it, there was no diving. Right area, right time. Huddleston stepped up to take the penalty. Slotted it into left-hand corner, goal, easy, 2-1. Went off with an injury, pulled hamstring, ouch. So I've never really known anybody score a penalty and injure themselves doing it. If you have, let me know. That'd be interesting to know, because I can't think of anybody. I don't just mean for Derby. I mean, well wide. So yeah, 2-1 half time, and to be honest, on the balance of play, did we deserve it? Maybe not. It was one of them away games, horrible away games. I felt where it's just we didn't really create enough chances again. Second half came out though, and Derby dominated. We dominated possession, we dominated threats, but again it was that final ball, and Dwayne Holmes was magnificent, running at defenders, but his final distribution, he was just unlucky, just couldn't quite find that final pass. Same with Patterson, just couldn't quite get that final ball, and it cost us. 94th minute, it cost us. Set piece. Set piece, yeah. So they went short this time. Short corner, and yeah, to the edge of the box. And we were caught napping, and I think it was Chaplin. I can't remember now off the top of my head. He smashed it. He smashed it low for a ruck of bodies, and it somehow found the bottom corner. And yeah, that's it. 2-2, game over. So everyone's a bit disheartened, thinking, right, we've just beat Birmingham without the likes of Tom Lawrence and Keogh and things like that. However, we've gone to Barnsley and we think, right, can we kick on? No, I said it in my last show. Can we kick on now? We should have done really, but obviously, then obviously with the team selection and Lawrence coming back into the side, for me, I thought at first he's just showing he's sticking by his players. Because let's be honest, Tom Lawrence came in for Yozefzoon, who, by all intents and purposes, is criticised quite heavily by the Rams, by Derby County supporters. That's what we do. But problem is, I think there's a good player in there somewhere. I just think he lacks confidence and he's scared of making a mistake, which makes him more edgy, which causes him to make mistakes. I do believe that there is potentially a good player in there somewhere, but we just don't really see it. So that was the replacement. A lot of people surely would argue that Tom Lawrence is better than Florian Yozefzoon. Obviously, on the night, no, because everyone was in shock and we're thinking, what's cracking off here? But whatever, it was done, it was picked. Yes, we should have won that game comfortably in the end, but again, it was just lacking that quality in the final third. So we move on to yesterday, Saturday. Luton Town at home. You think, right, okay, can we have a comfortable win now? Be nice before the international break. Please let it be comfortable. In fairness, so there was changes. Matt Clark came in at centre back, and Graeme Shinnie, Graeme Shinniesta, as he was called by the end of the game, came in midfield to replace Tom Huddleston, and surprisingly, Holmes was dropped to the bench, and Yozefzoon came in, and Waghorn was also on the bench, which again bizarre. The Holmes decision was due to the fact that he was poorly after the game. I don't know what with, but obviously people, he's human. He gets ill. So Martin again up front. So obviously your front three. I'm going from the front to back now. So your front three were Lawrence, Martin, and Yozefzoon. Your midfield, Shinnie, Holmes, Patterson. And then your back four of, I think Malone. Malone came back in. Malone, Davis, Clark, and Bogle. Great to see that guy return at last. It's been a while. It's been a long while, but it's great that Jayden Bogle is finally back in a Derby County shirt and starting for us. So, Luton Town. Like I've just said, another team that they generally do like to play football. They like to score goals. They do concede goals. Obviously, as I've said just before, the first goal was an absolute calamitous own goal. A pass back, he was near his touchline. Passed it, must be easily about 25 yards or so out. It felt like that anyway, from where I was sat. But it's just rolled under the keeper's foot. It's gone in. And it was weird, it was like, it was strange to sort of work out what had happened really, but yeah, it went in. So yeah, and then I think Yokozuna had a chance shortly after. Some good work from Bogle, whipped it into near post. Yokozuna slid in with the keeper, but the keeper's got down just before him. And then, so we had obviously the own goal of the season, and then we had the miss of the season from Collins for Luton Town. And Luton got down our right hand side, left hand side, sorry. Ball flash across 6-yard box, beats everyone. Collins is there, 3 yards out, and I have no idea how he's put it over the bar. It looked harder to miss than it did to score. It was one of them. So yeah, absolute ridiculous miss. Bit of a lucky draw there for Derby, really. They very fortunate, I think, to go 1-0, to still be at 1-0. Second half, again, it was a scrappy game. In fairness, it wasn't one that was blessed with highlights. Put it that way. It was quite end to end. In fairness, but neither team was really creative. I think Tom Lawrence had a couple of chances. Again, this time he did look a bit more confident. But again, he was still doing the basics. He was still working hard. Overall, I think he had an all right game. In fairness, which again I think was tough because I believe there was some fans booing. Again, come on, how long are you going to boo for? I guess that's what you got to ask yourself. But it's your decision. At the end of the day, it's your decision. It's your opinion. It's fine. I've got mine. You've got yours. That's it. I'm not going to think any less of you or think any more of you. It is what it is. But yeah, so Lawrence managed a shot from the edge of the box. Oh, inches wide, so close. Luton didn't really threaten. In fairness, I can't remember. I think they had a chance from about 8 yards out, which blazed over the ball. Other than that, nothing major. And then there was obviously the Tom Lawrence goal. Again, work from Bogle down the right hand side. Lays it back to Tom Lawrence, and then the absolute rocket of a shot cross come shot, I suppose. Sorry, I'm thirsty. Finds the top corner. Other than that, really, there was nothing really special about the game apart from one certain individual, who was, without a shadow of a doubt, the man of the match, and that was Graeme Shinnie. So a lot of people have asked, where's Graeme Shinnie? When's he going to come into this side? So this one, for me, was a difficult one because I've not seen enough of him to sort of, pass a judgment on him. So yeah, I can't pass judgment on someone that I've not seen play. A lot of you have said, where is Graeme Shinnie? I mean, the way I saw it was they must obviously have seen enough of him or seen a lot of him, maybe at Aberdeen, or they've got people they know, who like Scottish football, etc., who know what sort of player he is. Me, I saw him a little bit in the pre-season games in America, and then, Scunthorpe game, he was in and out really, but I've not seen enough to say why so people are desperate to see him. Now, let's not forget, it was Frank Lampard that brought Shinnie into the side back back in the last season, middle of last season. So we agree a fee, etc. Well, agree a contract for you. So Frank Lampard must have seen something in him, which is fair enough. And he struggled to get in this side. Which I guess if Philip Cocu's not chosen him, etc., doesn't know the sort of player he is, can he be the type of player that will fit into his side? So I get that. But he also said a few weeks ago that he needed to work on certain aspects of his game, whether that be his technical side, etc., things like that. Because I mean, let's be honest, Cocu is a bit of I think he's a bit of a perfectionist. He likes things done in a certain way. He likes certain styles of players, as every manager does. So he's obviously said to Graeme, right, go and work on this, go and work on that. And he's obviously done that. Now, and he's taken his chance. So Koku's basically said, right, that's it now, you've got your chance, show me what you can do. Like I said, if Huddleston had not been injured, would he have got that position? I don't know, but what he showed on that pitch was a man that showed passion, he showed a desire, and he showed a willing to play for this shirt, to play for this badge, this Ram. His performance was, dare I say it, Craig Bryson-esque. The man didn't stop running. You know, he put his tackles in, you know, he made his passes, he got himself available, he got himself about the pitch. He displayed a typical box-to-box midfielder. He was in, 1 minute he's defending an hour off, the next minute he's getting up into the attacking half and trying to get in on the ball there and do something then. He looked like someone who was desperate to play. And hopefully now, you know, will he keep that starting position? I hope he does. I genuinely hope he does. Because the balance between him and Bielik looks spot on to me. And that's what I think we're struggling to find, is a balance in that team. So, yes, I believe he has got, you know, he'll have a big part to play for us now. You know, especially with Huddleston being out, I think it is time for Graeme Shinnie to step up. But he has now set a massive precedence of how well he can play. He's got to keep doing it now. He's got to do it consistently. You know, again, you know, he'll have an off game like everyone does, but as long as he can do it more often than not, then happy days as far as I'm concerned. So now, my voice is going, by the way, so I apologise for that, for the bit of coughing, but what I'm going to do, as usual, I ask for your questions and comments, etc. So I'm going to go and read them out for you, and let's see what you've asked me to answer this week. So, first question. Well, actually, it's actually a comment. And I was actually going to touch on this myself. I was going to, you know, but because this is obviously a podcast by the fan for the fans, I like to let you guys get involved. So, this has come from Luke on Facebook. Sorry, Luke, Luke, I can't remember your last name. Sorry, I didn't save your last name. So, he basically says, looking at the first quarter of the season, 11 games in, 6 draws, 3 wins, 2 losses. Unbeaten in the last 5. Scored 15 goals, 9 in the last 5, conceding 6. A lapse in concentration against Barnsley, and we could have been looking at 10 out of 15 points in the last 5 games. That's a good point. Would have been 3 consecutive wins. Fans were complaining we were down the table due to not having won any. Now we have won 2 out of the last 5, drawing 3, and the fans are now moaning we are winning but not playing good football. We're such a hard fan base to please, aren't we? For me, yesterday, playing a short game round the back isn't good to the eye, but each time it looked like Keller or Clark got caught with the ball, which was about 3 to 4 times during the second half. There was a great chance coming out of it the other side. Let's remember what the club has gone through the last 3 months. New manager, no proper pre-season, various investigations into the club and sale of the ground and so on. The incident last week, which involved 3 or 4 senior team members, I think we're doing great. I think the reason we are going in the right direction now is because the team is learning to gel with each other due to not having a proper pre-season. Onwards and upwards, come on you Rams. Spot on. I don't need to say anything else on that because that is absolutely spot on. Yes, we did look like we're having a bit of a poor season. It was amazing what a couple of wins can do. That table is so compact, if you like, from the playoff spot down to about 20th position. There's only about 8 or 9 points that separate them. So he's spot on what he's saying. It's amazing what a couple of wins can do for you. Now, let's forget about the performances, yes, because they've not been great, but we're getting the results. we're showing character. Sometimes you have to show character. Now, let's. This is a Derby County show, but I'm going to mention our neighbours down the road because let's look at them. I've as you know, I work with a lot of Nottingham Forest fans, and basically a couple of them said, we're getting wins but not playing well. So, it just goes to show you don't have to play well to get a win, but if you've got the character to dig out wins, then go for it. Of course we'd love to see a great performance match with a great result. But sometimes just getting them first, getting them wins regardless how scrappy they are, can be the way forward. So yeah, great shout, Luke. Let's have a look. Next one. Just on Graeme Shinnie, by the way. His stats against Luton, this is how good he was. Pass accuracy, 91%, 60 out of 66 passes. 88 touches, 7 successful tackles, 3 interceptions, 1 clearance and 1 key pass. Man of the match, definitely. Right, so back to your questions then. Let's have a look. Richard Smith on Facebook, 2-0 win, but Derby were dreadful. Yeah, we were. We weren't the best at all. Again, we just need to start clicking, and I think it's coming together now. We may have sort of accidentally started to find a good 11. Let's face it. We've been playing with injuries to key players: Holmes, Bogle, Keogh, Huddleston, Marriott. Players that you looked last season and were key to that side, all been injured. And hopefully, I don't think Marriott is too. Listening to Cocker after the game, Huddleston may be looking at months out. Marriott hopefully be back training during the international break. So fingers crossed, it's just a slight strain for Marriott. But so I think we're still looking for that 11. But yeah, no, that's fine, Richard. And then Craig Moore on, I believe that's Facebook, yep. Craig Moore on Facebook says, do you reckon Heyman needs a game just to show what he can do? Because if it turns out to be crap, we need a keeper in genuine as well. Rooney must already be having regrets. Well, I've had this discussion, I've had this debate, I've even written an article on it, Heyman or Roos. I do like Roos, but he does seem to be starting to sort of put the fear of God into fans. There was a few times, especially on Saturday, where I wouldn't necessarily, it wasn't crossing wise, he seemed a bit better. He seemed to be getting a few catches and a few punches in and getting them clear. It was his distribution this time. Shot stopping is fine on. He's a great shot stopper. But and he is okay with the ball at his feet. He's comfortable with it. But there were some times where he was just dallying on it too much. Get rid sometimes. I get that the manager said, yeah, let's play out from the back, but if it's not on, surely you've got to use your head and go, right, bang, let's get rid. So, but does Heyman need a game? I can't judge. I've seen him play 2 games. Against Scunthorpe, we had nothing to do apart from that one stop. Great stop, nevertheless. And then Forest, we let 3 goals in. So it's hard to judge. Hard to judge, mate. So moving on then, next question / comment. Steve Spike Hibbett. I thought Graeme Shinnie was outstanding today. Why is it took him so long to get inside? He clearly can get the job done. Again, I've touched on that, Steve. Why is it taking him so long? I don't know. I really don't know. That's the only person that can answer that is Philip Cocu. But he showed what he can do today, and yesterday now. Sorry, and he was fantastic. He showed that eagerness and willingness, and that's what you want in midfield. That bit of bite as well. He put some great tackles in fairness, not a lie. some hard, crunching tackles, but he won the ball, fair tackles. And again, like I said, I think he does bring that balance in with Christian Bielik, because Bielik, we've all seen what he can do. He does like the ball, he does run with the ball, he does look to spray some good passes as well. So that, and next to him he's got Shinnie, who's going to work his knackers off. So yeah, I don't know why he's not started, but I think now he's got to keep that place. He really has. So yeah, great shout, Steve. Paul Watson on Twitter says, "Have we finally turned the corner and is Shinnie the missing link?" Exactly. This could be it now. I think maybe the international break's come at the wrong time now. But what it does get now is we've got that win, so the confidence is high in the dressing room, around the ground, etc. During this 2-week break, we've got all the players together. Yeah, a couple have gone away. Bogle's under 20s. Bogle's on to England 20s, so well done Jaden Bogle for that. Lee Buchanan for the under 19s, well done Lee Buchanan. I think is Bielik back with Poland squad? I'm not sure, I've not checked, sorry. But regardless, we've got the rest of the squad together, so we can work on something we need to work on, that's defending set pieces, but also attacking set pieces. I touched on this on, I don't know if you heard, I was on Radio Derby on Friday with Chris Coles. That was a fantastic experience, so thank you very much Radio Derby for that. Ed Dawes, Craig and Chris, that was, thank you for asking me to come on. But I touched on that with him, and we don't score many from set pieces, and we can obviously concede a lot. So it's a chance to work on that, which I'm sure we will. So yeah, Paul, how we found turn the corner, and Shinnie potentially could be the missing link. It could be that workhorse that we've missed in midfield. Like I said, I hope he keeps his position. I really do. But only time will tell, I guess. But with Huddleston out, looking out could be in it for a while. Yeah, I think he could now come in and show us what he can do and why Lampard brought him here. Oh Jesus, sorry about this, guys. Darren Walshaw on Facebook. Hey Darren, how you doing? My mate Darren from school. So question. What's your thoughts on Graeme Shinnie, and do you think he has shown enough to be a starting regular? In my opinion, he was worthy of the match winner, man of the match today. I know it's one game, but I like what I saw from him. A good team performance too. Yeah. Sorry, Darren. I think I've answered this question already a couple of times, but yeah, again, he has shown enough to be a starting regular. He's got to now produce that though. Like I said, one game is good enough. But you've got to do it consistently now over the rest of the 30 odd 40 games, whatever we've got left of the season. So can he do that? Hopefully he can. If he can do that, then yeah, he's a regular starter. Good team form today. Yeah, it was. It was bitty and bobby, I suppose, a bit scrappy, but we got the job done at the end of the day, didn't we? So that's all that matters, really. 3 points. Rams Worldwide on Instagram. Congrats on getting on Radio Derby. Thank you very much. Thought we were good today. Not brilliant, but certainly helped by a poor Luton goalkeeper. Shouldn't start the international break. Again, another Graeme Shinnie question. You guys, again, this is what I mean. This is what it's showing. Graeme Shinnie's come in, had one great game, and everyone's talking about him. He regardless of the calamitous own goal, regardless of Tom Lawrence's absolute stunning goal, everybody's talking about Graeme Shinnie. So it just goes to show that his performance today was massive. It was huge, and it was something that I think we've been missing in midfield. Is like I've said, I've already compared him to Craig Bryson, but he's in his prime now. Bryson obviously was 30. Something is it 30, 31. And last season we saw sparks of the old Craig Bryson, 2013, 2014. So I think, bringing in Shinnie, that was it was almost a like for like replacement. So again, yeah, he's got to start after the international break for me, definitely. Mark Andrew Coote on Facebook. Do you think Cockett was getting to know who his best team and formation are, or will there still be experimental selections after the break? To be honest, sorry, my nose is running down everything. What is going on? To be honest, I think the only experimental things have come from is because we haven't managed to find a settled 11. And a lot of that's down to injury, really. You know, with the likes of Bogle being injured, the likes of Huddleston getting injured, Marriott getting injured. But I think we're getting closer. And I hope, you know, again, like I say, with Shinnie coming in now, again, he's putting questions on. So potentially, you know, we've had Martin come in. He's done well. He's kept his spot. 3 goals in 4 games now. So, you know, the thing is, it's players coming in that have come in because players are injured, and they're doing well, and they're going right. And he's got to go. Well, you've earned yourself that spot. Now you've got to keep it. But I think we do need to find this settled 11 that, you know, we saw last season. Lampard was call him a tinker man. Cocu seems to be the same. But I guess we'll see. It'd be nice to get a settled 11. You know, play 2, 3, 4 games consistently, because we've got a big, long stretch now, isn't it, really? Is it November to March or something daft like that? You know, I think you got one more international. Is it one more international? I can't remember. I know it's one more international break or something like that, and then it's a big, long stretch. So we need to get a settled 11 sooner rather than later, I feel. Derby Dazzell on Facebook. Crap, bring on January. Okay. I get it. Yeah. Again, form wasn't great. Rooney being in January. I think they're probably going to be more than just Rooney coming in January. I think we're just going to have to, you know, we're a thin squad as it is. So it'll be interesting to see what does happen in January, and you know, that we've always had put January windows. We know we've started off with a decent-ish January transfer window, so fingers crossed it can be a decent window. And we don't have that mid-season blip. Andy Peel, good day today, mate. We can only get better. Thanks for your chats. Look forward to them. Thank you very much, Andy. Appreciate that. And that was the last question and comment. So I'm going to cut this show short today, guys. I've obviously got a cold or something coming, so my voice has been a bit rubbish. Thank you for sticking with me. I apologise about the coughing, but to summarise then, international break now, time to reflect, time to move on, and then time to get back to football in 2 weeks' time. You know, again, it's, at least we're not walking into tough games after the international break. You know, so we can be prepared, and we've had three games against games perhaps we should have got 9 points from. I mean, I think a lot of people will be happy with 7. Tell me if I'm wrong. When we looked at the fixtures, was seven enough? So, when we look back, we got Charlton away. Again, that won't be an easy game. Lee Bowyer's got them playing. They're doing all right. And then it's at home to Wigan and away to Hull, and that ends October. So again, at the start of the season, I thought this would be the period where we could kick on. Looking at that, I'm looking at definitely 6 points from. Well, I'd be hoping to get 3 points against Wigan. Hull's going to be a tricky side. They're another team that are 1 minute they're brilliant, the next minute they're poor. And Charlton, started off like a train. Settled right nicely in, but suffered a couple of losses, and then obviously got a draw at Fulham at the weekend. So again, it's hit and miss. It's the Championship for you. No game's easy. So we'll soon see. But again, I'm going to end it there before my voice absolutely dies on me. So, as always, guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for retweeting, for sharing it, etc. I've been the Rams Writer, and I shall see you next time. Hopefully my voice is better then, but until then, guys, you take care. I'll see you soon. Come on, Derby.